The Istanbul Cipher. Chapter 5. The cultural center buzzes like it's hosting a summit, not a student showcase. Branded banners flap at the glass entrance. Future voices of Turkey, youth, tech, and tradition. Security wands hum. Cameramen stalk like predators. I spot our booth tucked between a drone art collective and a coding club building earthquake simulations in Minecraft. The kids file in, sharper than I've ever seen them. Collars ironed, boots polished, hair done with intention. Layla wears a crimson blazer that makes her look like she belongs on stage. Sibyl swapped her usual sweater for a fitted black jacket. Ayla has a clipboard and a plan. Emre wears the same hoodie, but I notice he's trimmed the frayed edge. They look ready, or close enough to fake it. Server's stable. Emre murmurs, eyes on his laptop. No packet loss, no lag on the external render. 10 minutes until booth opens. Ayla says, already directing foot traffic with the quiet menace of a seasoned logistics officer. Layla adjusts the mic taped to her blazer. This isn't just code. This is truth in a language people understand now. Sibyl, sitting cross-legged behind the table, whispers the name of their first demo site under her breath like a prayer. Serp Krikor, Kadıköy, destroyed 1974. Preserved here. They've built this from nothing. No grants, no adults holding the net beneath them. Just maps, stories, and spite. I stand a few feet back and let them work. A group of journalists passes by. A ministry liaison waves. One camera crew stops to film the center atrium stage, where a banner reads, "Innovation in Cultural Heritage, a Youth-Led Future." Right next to it, Hakan Kadir smiles and shakes hands with a silver-haired official. Of course, he's already working the room. Layla leans toward me. He's here. I saw, I say. She straightens. Then let's show him what remembering looks like. I nod, but I can't shake it. Kadir isn't here to be impressed. He's here to see if we survive the spotlight. By noon, the place is packed. The air smells like cables and cafeteria coffee. Students in matching t-shirts bounce between booths, while clusters of teachers trail behind like confused sheepdogs. Ministers in tailored suits stand near the espresso station, pretending not to look bored. But our booth draws them in. The AR demo cycles on a loop. An old Istanbul street corner overlaid with an Ottoman-era prayer fountain that vanished during a rezoning push in the 1980s. The projection shimmers against the wall behind us. When it aligns just right, the illusion is seamless. History where it actually happened, Layla explains to a tech entrepreneur. Not in a textbook, not behind glass. She's on fire. Eyes bright, gestures confident. She speaks with the rhythm of someone who's been waiting too long to be heard. Emre stays behind the curtain, hands on the keyboard, focused. His code hums beneath the surface, invisible but vital. Ayla, ever the shield, intercepts every bureaucratic question with numbers and legalese. Sibyl walks an elderly woman through the Armenian overlay of an old seminary chapel, switching the narration from Turkish to Greek with a tap. The woman gasps. "This was my uncle's neighborhood," she whispers. "He used to speak of this place. We thought he made it up." Sibyl just nods. He didn't. A journalist from TRT approaches, camera in tow. Is this a creative installation or a historical archive? Layla doesn't flinch. It's both. It's art and evidence. The reporter raises a brow. Does the government support this project? A beat. Ayla answers. They haven't stopped us yet. A small laugh from the crowd. But behind the smiles, I spot Kadir, arms folded, lips pressed thin, standing just close enough to listen, just far enough not to be accountable. Watching, calculating. Stage call in 10. Someone announces over the PA system. Layla glances at the team. We good? Emre swallows. It's stable. Sibyl closes her notebook. Let's make the ghosts speak. They move toward the stage like soldiers heading to a skirmish they still think they can win. I hope they're right. But something in Kadir's expression, something cold and rehearsed, tells me this is exactly what he's been waiting for. We're in the spotlight now, literally. Stage lights heat the back of my neck as I step aside, giving the teens center space. The main screen stretches behind them, flanked by ministry banners and a slow-rotating cultural heritage seal. A soft buzz of anticipation moves through the audience. Reporters, educators, officials, students. Layla steps forward, shoulders squared, her voice steady. Istanbul remembers everything. But not everyone gets remembered. This app gives memory a body, through code, through story, through place. She gestures toward the screen as Emre cues the first overlay. This is Serp Krikor, a sanctuary once tucked between warehouses in Kadıköy. Demolished without documentation, erased, but not forgotten. Sibyl follows, her tone low but fierce. Biz unutmuyoruz. We do not forget. She repeats it in Greek, the words like a quiet spell. The audience is still now, leaning in. Then Emre launches the projection. A soft glow spreads across the screen as the AR layer kicks in. Arched windows, mosaic fragments, the ghost of a vanished roofline overlaying the rear wall of the venue itself. The crowd murmurs, "It's beautiful. Uncanny. It works." Layla lifts her phone and pans across the display. "You don't need to visit a museum," she says. "You just need to know where to stand." The second overlay loads, an Orthodox chapel erased in the 1950s. Then, a Sufi lodge swallowed by a mall complex. Each one flickers to life. The room feels spellbound. I glance at Emre. His fingers are tight on the laptop. Sweat beads at his temple. But his eyes, they're locked in. "Final sight," he says. The projection blinks, then stutters and freezes. Audio sputters out of sync. The overlays jitter. The structure warps, twisting like corrupted data. Then everything vanishes. The screen goes red. Data conflict. Server interrupted. Corrupted source file. A stunned silence hits the room like a slap. Layla turns, panicked. "Emre?" He's already typing, hands shaking. I don't know. It was clean. I checked everything." Ayla lunges to reset the connection. Sibyl clutches the presentation notes like they'll anchor her. The audience begins to murmur. Camera flashes go off. And from the second row, Hakan Kadir leans toward a cluster of officials and smiles. Right on cue. The projector screen remains frozen in that shade of surgical red. No fade out, no soft recovery, just failure. Ugly and public. Layla steps forward, voice trembling but defiant. "There's a server issue. If you visit our booth afterward, we can..." But no one hears her. The energy's already collapsed. A ripple of whispers flows through the crowd. Some attendees check their programs. A few stand. That's when Hakan Kadir steps forward, crisp as ever, hands folded politely behind his back. He doesn't look at us. He looks at the audience. These kinds of youth projects, he begins, tone warm and diplomatic, are deeply inspiring. They show how engaged our students are, how invested they've become in our shared history. A few nods. Cameras click. He continues. But we must remember, digital reconstructions, especially when unvetted, can unintentionally distort sensitive narratives. He's not shouting. He doesn't need to. Every word is shaped like velvet. But the blade underneath gleams. They mean well, he adds, gesturing toward us, and they deserve our encouragement, but also our guidance. Caution is the price of preservation. The room tilts with implication. Layla opens her mouth, then closes it. Emre stares at the floor. Ayla mutters something under her breath, too low for anyone to catch. I step forward, taking the mic gently from Layla's hand. Innovation is messy. Failure isn't the end of a story, it's part of the process. These students have built something courageous, something vital. I hope you'll visit the booth, see it for yourselves. A few polite claps. No one moves. Kadir offers me the faintest nod. Acknowledgement or dismissal, I can't tell. Then he turns, and just like that, it's over. Another team takes the stage. Their polished slides light up flawlessly. Charts, market projections, applause. And we stand off to the side, caught between invisibility and humiliation. Layla's hands ball into fists. Emre mutters, "It was working. It was... I know, I say. But I'm already replaying every moment, every line of code, every handshake Kadir made before the crash. Sabotage doesn't always come through the back door. Sometimes it walks in with credentials and a smile. We huddle behind the stage, near an emergency exit and an unplugged espresso cart. The overhead lights flicker. The buzz of the next presenter's applause filters through the curtain like static. Layla stares at the floor, jaw locked. She hasn't spoken since we stepped off stage. Ayla paces in short, tight lines. That wasn't a server glitch. You all saw the file name swap itself. That was injected. That was planted. Emre doesn't answer. He's on the floor, laptop open, knees pulled to his chest. He types in short bursts, eyes wide and dry. The red error log fills the screen again. I don't understand, he mutters. Checksum's corrupted, but there's no sign of outside interference, just noise. Static inside the logic tree. Siebel sits beside him, cross-legged, calm, watching the others burn themselves out. It wasn't supposed to crash, Emre says again. I tested it. Everything was sandboxed. I built redundancy. I built firewalls. Ayla kicks a folding chair. Then explain how it failed exactly when it mattered. In public, in front of him. He wanted this, Siebel says. Software unblinking. He didn't need to prove we were wrong, just unstable. Layla finally looks up. Her eyes are glassy, but her voice comes out sharp. He used us, built us up so he could knock us over in front of people who matter. Now we look like amateurs with a dangerous hobby. Zack's rule number 19. After a fall, they don't need cheerleading. They need space to bleed and decide if they'll get back up. This isn't over, I say, quiet enough not to step on their hurt. It's just a shift. They won't remember the crash tomorrow, but they'll remember how you respond. Layla stares through me. I don't care what they remember. She turns to the others. I care about the sight, about her voice, about what's still underground. Then she rips the mic tape from her blazer and storms toward the back stairwell. Emre stays crouched on the tile. I failed, he whispers. I failed all of you. No, Sibyl says. Someone wanted us to believe that. The crowd outside cheers for someone else. Somewhere, a trophy's being handed off. Maybe a quote read about innovation and legacy. None of it's ours. The team dissolves, slow and scattered. Isla heads to the metro with her jaws set like stone. Emre doesn't move. Sibyl helps him gather the cables anyway, silent but steady. Layla hasn't returned. I stay behind to return the lanyards and pack what's left of our booth. A reporter walks past, doesn't even glance at me. The moment's over. Our spotlight dimmed before it even warmed up. Back in the alley behind the venue, I finally let myself breathe. I pull out Hakan Kadir's business card. It's heavier than it should be. Cream stock, thick enough to suggest power, to dare you to throw it away. The crimson seal looks different now. Earlier it shimmered, refined, official. Now, under the dull alley light, it seems almost blood dark. Less wax, more warning. I turn it over. On the back, printed in neat, serifed script. Preservation requires discipline, not disruption. I stare at the line. Not handwritten, not personal. Printed, like it's been said 1,000 times. Like it's part of the ministry's DNA. Like a threat dressed as a principle. He let us climb. Then he cut the rope. I slide the card back into my notebook, behind a page where I once scribbled, "What gets remembered equals who's in power." That equation feels heavier now. This wasn't a glitch. It was a message. And we heard it. The question is, what do we do with it? Because the game just changed. And Hakan Kadir isn't an ally. He's the threshold.